For hundreds of years, Japanese women have been quietly saving the cloudy water left over from washing their rice and pressing it into their skin. And in my mother's kitchen, tucked into the pages of an old brown notebook, there was a note about that very same water. She never poured it down the drain. She smoothed it over her face. And even in her 70s, her skin had a soft, rested look that no cream I ever sold in my parlor could match. Women are turning to this again now, hoping to soften the lines that show up around the eyes and mouth. But here is the thing. The way the old women used rice water is not the way the internet uses it now. There is a modern shortcut going around that can quietly turn something gentle into something that stings and irritates your skin. Stay with me, because that one mistake changes everything. I'm Rosemary, and I spent 22 years running a small beauty parlor in the Midwest, most of it looking closely at mature skin like yours and mine. If there's one thing all those years taught me, it's that the simplest remedies almost always depended on using them exactly right. Rice water is one of the best examples I know. Why did so many women fall in love with this remedy? The answer is obvious the moment you think about it. It costs almost nothing. The rice is already sitting in your pantry, and after years of $100 jars that promise the world, there's something almost rebellious about a bowl of cloudy water doing the job just as kindly. But here's what surprises people. The old way of using it was gentler and far more careful than the strong, souring versions people rave about online today. The women who kept it in that brown notebook weren't trying to make it powerful. They were trying to make it comforting. And that difference, gentle versus strong, is exactly where most people go wrong. Because the rice is the easy part. What you do with it decides everything. So let me tell you what's actually happening when your skin looks smoother after using it. When rice soaks in water, that water slowly clouds up and fills with fine, soft starches from the grain. When you press that milky liquid onto clean skin and let it settle, it leaves behind a light, almost invisible veil. That thin veil helps your skin hold on to moisture, and it catches the light in a soft way, so your face looks fresher and a little more even. Think of it like the difference between a crumpled linen shirt and one that's been lightly steamed. The fabric is the same, but smoothed and softened, the creases relax, and the whole thing looks calmer. That's what better hydrated skin does. The tiniest dryness lines ease, and the surface looks more rested. It's a lovely, gentle effect, but you only get it if you prepare the water properly. And most women never learned how. So let's fix that right now. Start with plain white rice, nothing fancy, about half a cup. Give it a quick rinse under clean water and pour that first water away. That first splash carries dust and whatever the grains picked up along the way, and you don't want that on your face. Now cover the rinsed rice with a cup or two of clean water. Cool or room temperature is perfect. There's no need for hot water here, and hot water can actually pull out more than you want. Let it soak for about half an hour, giving it a gentle swirl now and then, and watch the water turn from clear to a soft, milky cloud. That cloudiness is your signal. When it looks like thin milk, and I mean thin milk, not paste, strain the rice out and pour that liquid into a genuinely clean jar. A dirty jar is the fastest way to spoil a good batch. Keep it in the refrigerator, never on the counter, and trust your nose. Fresh rice water smells faintly clean, a little like the rice itself. The moment it smells sour or looks strange, that batch is finished. Pour it out. Here's exactly how I'd use it, and I want you to do it this one way to start. First, wash your face. Rice water is not a cleanser, so it goes on skin that's already clean. Then, dampen a fresh cotton pad or your clean fingertips and press a thin, even layer over your face and neck. You'll feel it cool and light on the skin. You don't need to drench yourself. A little does the work. Let it sit for about 5 minutes. Then rinse gently with cool water. Pat your face almost dry, and while your skin is still slightly damp, smooth on your usual moisturizer. That last step matters because it seals the softness in instead of letting it simply evaporate. Begin with 2 or 3 evenings a week and see how your skin feels. Once your skin knows it well and stays calm, you can leave that thin layer on without rinsing if you prefer. But that's a step for later, not for the first week. Now, here's where good rice water goes wrong and the mistakes get more serious as we go. The first one is small but common. Skipping that very first rinse and using the dusty first water. That water carries the grit off the grains, and pressing it onto your face does nothing good. Rinse once, pour it away, and let the cleaner second soak be the one that touches your skin. The second is thinking that thicker and cloudier means stronger and better. It doesn't. A heavy, gluey batch just sits on top of your skin, feeling sticky, and can leave your face looking dull and filmy. You want thin milk, not paste. If yours turns out too heavy, loosen it with a splash of clean water. A light hand is always kinder to mature skin. The third mistake undoes all your effort in one move. Applying rice water over an unwashed face. When you smooth it over the day's makeup, oil, and city grime, you're not soothing your skin. You're pressing all of that down and holding it against your pores. Clean skin first, always. Otherwise, you've made a lovely remedy work against you. The fourth is impatience dressed up as effort. Leaving it on for an hour or splashing it on morning and night, believing more will smooth lines faster. It won't. Overdoing it can leave skin feeling tight and unhappy. A few minutes, a few evenings a week. With mature skin, gentleness beats force every single time. If this is the kind of honest, gentle care you've been looking for, I'd love for you to subscribe and come sit with me again. That's all I'll ask. And then let's get to the mistakes that really matter. The fifth mistake is asking rice water to be something it isn't. It's not a replacement for your moisturizer, and it is certainly not a replacement for your sunscreen or for real care if you have a skin condition. Layer your moisturizer on top, keep your sun protection every morning, and let rice water simply do its gentle part. And I know what you're really wondering by now, whether it truly softens wrinkles. Hold that thought because I'm going to tell you honestly what to expect in just a moment. The sixth mistake is where things start to get risky. Poor hygiene. Dipping dirty fingers back into the jar, reusing the same tired cotton pad, or keeping a batch far too long. Homemade rice water has nothing in it to fight off bacteria, so clean hands, a clean jar, and fresh cotton or fingertips matter every time. And never put it on broken, raw, or irritated skin. When in doubt, make a small fresh batch rather than reaching for an old one. And now the big one, the modern shortcut. I warned you about at the very start. All over the internet, women are told to leave their rice water out on the counter for days until it turns sour, and that this so-called fermentation makes it far more powerful. Please hear me on this. Real cosmetic fermentation is a careful, controlled process. Leaving a jar of starchy water on your kitchen counter is not that. In your own kitchen, you have no way of knowing what has actually grown in there, and it may be nothing you'd ever want on your face. The acidity can swing so far that it upsets your skin's natural barrier. And if it stings when you apply it, that is not proof it's working. That is your skin telling you to stop. So here is the rule to remember above all others. Use a fresh, refrigerated batch. Never a sour, altered, or questionable one. So, what will you honestly see? Let me tell you plainly, because you deserve that. Under your fingertips, the skin feels softer and less tight almost right away. Dry, flaky patches look calmer. There's a comfort to it. In the mirror, your face may look a touch brighter and more rested, a little more even, the dullness lifted. Now, about those wrinkles. When women say rice water erases their lines, Here's what's really happening. Skin that's softer and better moisturized makes shallow, fine dryness lines look less sharp. They fade into the surface instead of standing out. That is a real visible improvement, and it's a lovely one. What it won't do is fill in a deep-set wrinkle or change the structure underneath permanently. That softer look comes with hydration and care rather than rebuilding the skin. But don't let that take the shine off it. A remedy that costs pennies and leaves your face looking fresher and feeling comforted is a true friend. Just ask the right thing of it, and it won't let you down. A few gentle words of care. If you have a rice allergy, skip this one entirely. And if your skin is very sensitive or you live with rosacea or eczema, go slowly and never use it on broken or raw skin. Before you begin properly, dab a little on a discrete spot, perhaps the inside of your arm, and wait a day to see how it settles. A calm patch is a good first sign, though it's not a promise, so ease into it on your face carefully even then. If you ever notice burning, swelling, itching, a rash, or redness that won't settle, stop and let your skin rest. And if anything worries you, there's no shame in asking your doctor. A remedy should comfort you, never punish you. So here's the whole of it. Simply, rinse your rice once and pour that water away. Soak half a cup in cool water until it turns to thin milk. Strain it into a clean jar and keep it cold on a freshly washed face. Press on a thin layer. Wait 5 minutes. Rinse and seal it in with moisturizer while your skin is still damp. A few evenings a week, fresh and refrigerated always. Sour and left on the counter, never. And your sunscreen still comes first thing in the morning. That's the method, just the way my mother would have wanted you to have it. There's a quiet satisfaction in caring for your skin with something as humble as a bowl of rice, done properly, the way women did long before any of us worried over the price of a jar. You've earned that kind of gentle care. So tell me in the comments, did your mother or grandmother ever use rice water? I'd truly love to know. And next time I'll open that brown notebook again for another forgotten remedy, this one for the backs of the hands, where our age so often shows first, and the simple kitchen oil most women overlook. Until then, take care of yourself, my dear friend. You've earned it.